Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow will be a better day. I could have picked up like a different adult fantasy, but I went with like one of the biggest ones I have on my shelf. But it's Wednesday. No, it's not. Hello everyone and welcome back to a weekend reading vlog. Today is Friday. A very weird mood. I don't know what I want to read, but there's also things that I know I don't want to read, if that makes sense. So I've kind of got like a mix of things happening for my TBR at the moment. I'm also kind of feeling a little bit anxious for some reason. I'm not too sure why. So we're just going to take it easy this weekend. Yesterday I did a lot of university prep and also just recovering from my trip. I went and visited my family back home, and then my flight back to Brisbane was absolutely chaotic. It was only meant to be a 2-hour flight. That's how long it takes. We ended up having to be rerouted. So I didn't get home until about 1 a.m. as opposed to 10 p.m. So I spent most of Monday recovering, and then Tuesday was just like getting back and doing like chores and things like that. And I want to talk about some of these books that I am in the middle of reading. And first on the list is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This is a YA urban fantasy involving the Arthurian legends. 108 pages into this. I am also tabbing it, if you can kind of see. It's interesting so far. I'm not entirely too sure if I like urban fantasy, but I'm hoping that once it starts getting more involved in the actual magic of everything, that I'll enjoy it a bit more. The other one that I picked up was a book on my Kindle, because I like to have a physical book and then a Kindle read. So I've decided to pick up the first book in the Awaken series by Elise Cover. This is the digital box set, which has like all 5 books in the series. So I'm reading the first book, which is called Awakens. This is another YA fantasy, elemental magic, I guess. I am like 100 or so pages into this one, enjoying this one. I have read from Elise Cover before, but this just feels different. I think it might be because it is YA fantasy, but nonetheless, enjoying this one. And then because I had read so much paranormal romance and like fantasy romance, and it was just a lot of smut, like I read Their Vicious Darling and Her Soul to Take, and then what was before? Yeah, I just wanted something with a little bit more substance. So I went like complete and total out of left field, and decided to pick up Priory of the Orange Tree. I could have picked up like a different adult fantasy, but I went with like one of the biggest ones I have on my shelf. It's not as big as you think, because about the last like 20 to 15 pages is like glossary, and it is only like 800 pages. House of Sky and Breath is bigger than this. Keep that in mind. I'm enjoying it. I'm a little bit confused. I'm enjoying the vibes, if that makes, any sense. It's not that hard to read. It is a little bit dense, but more so in the fact that you get a lot of information thrown at you and not a lot of context. In this one, I don't know too much about the story so far, but basically we follow our main character, Bree, who at the beginning of this novel unfortunately lost her mother in a car accident, and she had enrolled herself into like this pre-college thing where university students can enroll in a couple of like college classes, I think. And so while she is attending that university, she stumbles across like demon attacks and discovers that she can see magical things happening, and then uncovers a secret society called the Order. Remembers a couple of things about her mother's death that has sort of sparked interest into what this order is and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. I am tabbing it. There's a lot of racism in this. I knew about beforehand. Like, everyone did talk about how much racism is in this, that Tracy Dion has decided to sort of bring forward. I just didn't realize how much. Now, prior to the orange tree, from what I know, from what like people have said, and from what I've read so far, is that we have the East and the West. The West is definitely, you know, reminiscent of like America and, you know, Europe and Britain and things like that. And they fear dragons. They call them wyverns. I can't remember how I pronounce it. And the dragons are very reminiscent of like the dragons that you see in Game of Thrones and stuff. They're like big, bad dragons. Then we have the East, which is definitely Asia, Middle East, things like that. And they worship the dragons. And they call them dragons. And their dragons are what I would think are like the dragons from, you know, what is it? From like, you know, Chinese mythology and things like that. This dragon here is from the West. This dragon up here is from the East. Something happens, I don't know what yet, but I'm gonna guess something happens that causes people's paths to cross. We follow a lot of different characters in this. There's like, I think 3 or 4 characters that we have followed the perspectives from the most. It's a very big, dense world, and you kind of just get thrown into it. There's a lot of like name dropping for a lot of different characters that we have no like further explanation about who they are or like context of anything, which is a little bit confusing, and I'm wondering if I should probably look back at the glossary, which I have tabbed. So far it's not that hard to understand. I also don't know if it's like spoilers, so that's why I haven't bothered to look into the thing, because I just don't want to spoil myself. But anyway, I've spoken for far too long, so I'm going to read this, the Air Awakens first, and then I will come back and talk to you. I had a parcel delivered, which is not the book that I need. I have some reading updates, which I think is rather exciting. Alright, so it's quite late in the morning. It's about 10:30. My hair is doing something extremely rude, so let's just ignore that. Last night I ended up having a nap, reading for a bit, so I fell asleep. Wasn't planning on it, but it happened nonetheless. So, I did in fact finish Air Awakens by Elise Kober. Meh, but I am interested in, you know, reading the rest of the series. The rest of the books, I think, up until book 4 are all pretty much like 290, 300 pages length, so I think I'll definitely be able to finish off the series. So yeah, this one was just, it was meh. It's definitely a setup for the rest of the series, honestly. I liked the characters. The world is definitely interesting, but I am getting confused because it's very reminiscent of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, you know, different people from different parts of the world have different elemental magic. So it's talking about like people from the West, East, Northerners, and things like that. And in Priory of the Orange Tree, we're following people from the West and the East. So I'm getting a little bit confused with that. That's like my only criticism that I have, but that's my own fault because I'm reading a book that has West and East. I'm interested in seeing where the series goes, because so far it was just very run-of-the-mill. Girl discovers powers and has to decide whether or not she wants to complete this, like, you know, destiny that's been already written for her, or, you know, eradicate her powers and just go back living her normal life, so on and so forth. It was definitely a setup for the series, but I am going to pick up the next book, which is called Fire Awakening or something along those lines. Now, I did make quite a bit of headway into Priory of the Orange Tree, so I'm now 96 7 pages in. I think we're starting to get a little bit more into what the actual plot of the story is. I'm still just along for the ride. I don't really know what's happening. But I have actually marked here. I've marked each of the 100-page sections. So yes, it's Monday. I am supposed to be at uni, but I had an anxiety attack instead. And I'm trying not to let myself get upset about it. I haven't done any reading apart from just the stuff that I had to do for university. I actually got some books. I got the books that I had ordered, so I'll show you what they were. I'll show you my outfit because I like it. So I got 4. So the first one is Penguin Classic edition of William Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus. I have actually read this one already. It was one of the ones that I had to read. Yes, I really wanted this edition of it so it matches the rest of my Penguin Classics. I had to get Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. I've never heard of this, but I do know of Virginia Woolf and her writing. So then I also decided to pick up Oxford Dictionary of Literary Terms because I figured that would actually kind of help. And then I also got John Webster and John Ford's, I guess, compilation. So this one has The Duchess of Malfi, which is one that I had to read, The White Devil, The Broken Hearts, and 'Tis Pity She's a Whore. Alright, so reading update. So like I said, I've read this one. I enjoyed it. The copy that I had, I definitely don't think was a good translation. It was like one that I got for free on Kindle. So I might do like a bit of a reread of this. I'm all caught up with my readings. Reading for general, I have not really done much, but I'm planning on doing it now. Just booked appointments for the psychologist and some accessibility peoples at university. Fortunately, I'm quite lucky with going to UQ. They actually have a lot of services available to students in regards to mental health and things like that. I have just left it a little bit late because I guess I was procrastinating about it because I don't like talking about my mental health to people in order to fix it, if that makes sense. I guess I just don't want to delve into what makes me sad. I don't know. That's done. Like I said the other day, I had finished Awakens. I haven't really started reading the second book in that series yet. Dawn is continued on with Mother of Death and Dawn, or Mother of Dawn and Death by Carissa Broadbent. I was about like 8% through, so I've started reading a little bit more. I think I'm now finally 100 pages in, so that's good. Haven't read any more of Priory. I haven't really read anything of Legendborn, so that's what I'm planning to do today. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow will be a better day. Today was something that was out of my control, and I couldn't fix it and I couldn't stop it, and that's fine. I'm gonna go and eat something and go and have a sleep, I think. It's Wednesday. No, it's not. It's Thursday, and I'm looking like a hot mess. Tuesday was one of the longest days of my life. I went to uni, and then, of course, Tuesday night was the Harry Styles concert in the Gold Coast, which, if you're not too sure, Brisbane and the Gold Coast are about an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from each other. So I finished university at 5 o'clock. I did not get home until 7:30 at night because of how bad the traffic was. I was absolutely wrecked. It was such a long day, and I hadn't like eaten anything. So because of that, Wednesday I literally spent the entire day just sleeping. I think I was awake for maybe about 4 hours of the day. We are now on Thursday. I do have some reading updates. I mentioned the other day that I had to read I have read quite a bit in Mother of Death and Dawn, or is it Mother of Dawn on Death or Death and Dawn? I think it's Death and Dawn. Let me just... I have been reading that, but I've basically been like falling asleep almost instantly after going to sleep. And I have also read a bit more in the second book of the Awaken series. Okay, so I am 164 pages into Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent. I'm on chapter 4 of Fire Falling, which is book 2. And then I have actually made quite a lot of progress into Priory of the Orange Trees, and I'm tabbing it and everything. So I am now 136 pages in. Things are finally starting to get a bit interesting. I'm still not entirely too sure what is going to be the main goal in here. I have an idea, but because it's such a big book and there's so many characters and things happening, I just don't know exactly what's going to happen. So yes, so that is my reading updates, but my main goal for today is to film my February wrap up and my March TBR. I did just do the rolls for March and it's looking like it's gonna be an okay month, but I don't know, I'm really feeling like mood reading. How that's gonna work. I also need to update my reading journal because I haven't updated it and I can't remember exactly how many books I've read. All I know is that I have managed to already read 20 books for February. But anyway, I'm going to go and get ready so I can film. I woke up at 5:30 again this morning, even though I really didn't want to. My ADHD and procrastination OCD is anxiety and kicking. I can't even freaking speak English now. This is great. I'm going to go and get ready to film. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, goodbye. Alright, so filming is now done. I'm feeling very tired, but I am going to, I think, clean the house up a little bit just because I need to vacuum the floors because there is hair everywhere thanks to cats. I'm going to go and take this lipstick off just because I don't want it to go everywhere. Over here on my nose. Eat something for lunch and then I will get back. No, I'm not going to get back. I'm going to start reading. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, so it is quite a bit later now. I do apologize for the fan absolutely blasting in the background, but it's hot, so I need it running. So it is quite a bit later. I've vacuumed the whole house, which is good. It definitely needed to be done. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read about 20 or so pages of Priory of the Orange Tree. Sorry, my face looks rough. I took my makeup off. Yeah, I'm going to read 20 or so pages of Priory of the Orange Tree so I can get to the 150 mark. And then, that was very, very close. And then I'm going to read a bit of Legendborn because I watched another vlog where somebody was reading Blood Marked and just talking about how good this book was, so I want to read this. It is about 1:30ish and I'm feeling a little bit tired, but my main focus is that I do want to get this one, just the 50 pages of this read first. No, the 20 or so pages because I am 136 pages in. I don't think it'll take me too long, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't fall asleep, but we'll see. Okay, so I had a nap, but I have been reading Legendborn anyway. I am now 140 pages in, so almost read about almost 50 pages, I think. Things are finally getting interesting. We just kind of had a bit of a expose dump, I want to say. It definitely needed to happen because I was getting very confused as to everything that was being mentioned. Yeah, enjoying it now. I read those pages quite quickly, but now that it is about, I think it's 7 o'clock now. Yep, 7 o'clock now. My partner came home with some. We're having KFC for dinner tonight and going to continue watching Merlin. Super excited about this. Really liking this because it's giving me all the Merlin vibes. There's also things in here I think I've figured out parts of the plot, but not too sure yet. So I'm going to keep reading while he has a shower, and then we're going to eat some chimkin and watch some Merlin. Okay, so dinner has been consumed. 2 episodes of Merlin have been watched. It ended on a really sad episode. But now we are both getting ready for bed. I'm going to read for a bit, and then once my partner starts to fall asleep, because he goes to sleep earlier than I do, I'll pull out my Kindle and read a little bit in there. It's Friday, and I have a reading update. Excuse the way I look right now. I am far too tired. Oh, it looks so bad. I actually read quite a lot of Legendborn last night. I read probably 100 pages. I started off on page 110 and I'm now on page 217. So, decent progress was made. I am still enjoying it. We're still getting a lot of world building and expose sort of stuff. I'm just wanting something else to happen. We're just getting a lot of info dumps at the moment, and a lot of information about past characters, and while that's all interesting and good, I want to know what is going to be the turning point of the story. I'm hoping it's going to happen soon, because like I said, right now it's just a lot of information that we are being given. There's been a couple of demon attacks, and then we'll find out more information, and then demon attack, more information. So right now it's a little bit repetitive, but I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. The romance is also blooming, which is good. I had a horrible night's sleep, you can probably tell. I had a horrible night's sleep. Yeah, it's just gone 8:30, so I'm going to take a nap for a couple of hours to hopefully make myself feel better, because I can feel a headache coming on. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to read a bit more of Prior of the Orange Tree. I think I read it. I read a little bit more, so I'm 153 pages in. Not really much has happened. Still getting a lot of just information and a lot of vibes and things like that. So I can't wait for whatever is going to happen in this book to happen. Quite a bit later since I last spoke to you. I took a nap. I woke up at about 12, and I have been doing my readings for uni since then. It is now 6 o'clock. I did not expect it to take that long. I've just put dinner on, so we're having roast with potatoes and vegetables, and I'm very excited because we haven't had vegetables in a very long time. I haven't read anything from Legendborn or Priory, that second book in the Awaken series, or Mother of Dawn. So I'm now going to sit down on the couch in the aircon, which feels very nice, and watch YouTube and do my coloring by numbers app thing. Hi everyone. So it is Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I went shopping today, so I had to get some things for uni as well as some things just in general. So I thought I'd do a little haul because I also picked up some books. I'll do the books first because they're the most exciting thing, honestly. So I went to Big W and I got Spice Road by Maya Abraham. I've seen a lot about this. Everyone seems to be really enjoying it, that they people who have read this, so I figured I might as well pick it up. And yeah, I need more books by authors of colour, so really excited to have this on my shelf. And then I went to QBD and got 3 books. I've been trying to get my hands on this series for ages and just decided to bite the bullet and just buy it. So there's that one there. But I also got A Torch Against the Night and A Sky Beyond the Storm, both by Hiya. The reason why I got this is because I have this edition of it and I don't like the fact that it doesn't match the rest of the entire series. I don't know why this edition came, because I ordered this one off Amazon, but this one arrived instead. Don't know what happened, but I bought this one so I could replace it. Also got a pair of jeans. These feel really nice and stretchy, so I'm hoping that they fit. The best and most exciting thing ever, I bought myself a backpack because I don't have one for uni. I got this one. Isn't it just so cute? This is so adorable. This is for when winter comes. It's a fluffy cropped sweater, and it has little teddy bears on it. Another cropped, little lacy. Yeah, I'm super excited. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put everything over into my backpack, which is very spacious, and it has like pockets and things and space for my iPad and everything like that, so that's good that I have. Oh no, I do have some reading updates. So I did read quite a bit of Legend Born last night. I think I read 60 pages of it last night. So I'm now 250 or 60 pages into the book and I'm having a good time. I'm just a little bit bored. Things have been disclosed and it's very interesting the way that they were disclosed, but I'm still having a good time nonetheless. Yeah, anyway, I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna go and read more now, but yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update and a quick little haul of the things that I got. I apologize if you don't enjoy watching hauls, but I just liked the clothes that I bought, and it's not very often that I like the clothes that I buy, so I just figured that I would like to document it. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to go now because I am very dehydrated and I would like to take a nap. Okay, so it has been, I want to say almost 2 weeks since I last spoke to you guys, which I am so terribly sorry for. University hit, and it hit big time, and I had no time to do any reading whatsoever. Today is the first day where I'm actually taking time off from uni work to sit down and do nothing but read. So that being said, I did finish Legend Born, so I want to finish off this vlog by just talking about Legend Born. I didn't want to end it with not finishing a book, so that's why it's been almost 2 weeks. I have just finished this book and I'm giving it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. For me, for some reason, it dragged on a little bit. I just felt like we were getting like a big action scene and then time would pass. Then a big action scene and then time would pass, and nothing was really getting us to where we needed to be. This is quite a long book. This is almost 500 pages, which is a lot. There is a lot of world building in this though, which I think warrants that page count. The world building is done in a way that makes it easy to understand, but I will admit you are just sort of thrown into the world straight away, which does make things a little bit confusing. But I have enjoyed it. I did kind of guess where it was going to go. I either had 2 theories. Both were incorrect. I still enjoyed where it went nonetheless. I liked the themes and the topics that were brought up in this, especially that of like racism and classism. They were definitely very interesting to read about, and I liked how they fit in with the fantasy aspect of things. I just also enjoyed seeing Bree overcome her grief in a way that felt natural. So yeah, I really like this. I will be, oh my gosh, if you can hear that thunder, that's been happening all day, which is why I wanted to do nothing but read, because it's just been horrible, like miserable, rainy weather. So yeah, anyway, I will be continuing on with the second book in the series, which is blood marked, but I won't be starting that just yet because I feel like this was quite a dense and heavy book, so I just want to read something that's a little bit easier than that and probably just like a bit smutty. Bree looks different on the front cover. So yes, that is my thoughts and feelings about Legendborn. I am sorry that this vlog has taken so long. Hopefully in the next coming weeks my vlogs can be organized better. I have lots of readings to do for university, which shouldn't come as a surprise, especially, you know, being a English literature major student with a minor in Asian history. Like, of course there's going to be readings. So I'm just struggling a little bit with keeping on top of all of those. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts were down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys liked the video. Let me know if you guys have read any of the books that I've spoken about in this vlog, especially if you have read Legendborn as well as Priory of the Orange Tree. I'd really like to know your thoughts. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos. If you do want to see more, then be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can stay notified for when I upload. And also have my social media links in the description box, so do be sure to have a look at that. There's my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in another video later on.